program is brought to you through the kind support of the Friends of That's What She Said and Taylor Backus Glass. Support BCTV by visiting bctv.org/support.
It used to be great, now it's not so great, but it's still pretty great. Reading. It used to have lights, but it didn't have lights. New, with LED lights. Pagoda. Did they really say that? They did not say that. Yeah, they did say that. That's what she said.
Hello and welcome to another smashing episode of That's What She Said. We do have to warn you, we are not live tonight, so if you're seeing this on TV, we're not here. However, if you are seeing this on the web, we are streaming live on the web tonight. Then we're here, and you can tweet us at She Tweets to Me, or if you feel like calling, 610-378-0426. Please let us know that you're watching. Give a call. As usual, we were preempted. Well, not as usual. We've never been preempted before by a hockey. Well, we said HE double hockey pucks, and went on anyway because we're that kind of gal. So, or gals. And speaking of the gals, here we are. I'm, of course, your hostess, Jane Street, and my co-hostesses are...
Sheila Harrington.
She Who Knits.
Ellen Gallagher.
Martha Richardson.
And Kira Apple.
And it's so wonderful to have you here. How long is this one going to take, Sheila?
Hopefully not nearly as long as the last one.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm trying to cut my time in half, so it should be done in about 4 more months.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we long for that end date.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
me
a fan
too.
of those colors. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am not either. I didn't pick them.
They're spring colors.
They are.
Today's the first day of spring.
Pastel is not my sport.
That's not your
Anyway,
thing.
you also may have noticed that in the studio today we have some furry friends. We have Miss Mona here, who is a 9-year-old. Tell us about
Bernice
Mona.
Mountain Dog,
Yes.
whom we rehomed last summer. She began her life in Ellicott City, Maryland, and was a shop dog in an antique store there for about 7 years. And then her owners moved to Portugal, and so she had a family that lived in town, but they found that their son had an allergy to her. And so we got her through a Bernice Mountain Dog rescue last summer, and she's really become a very good friend, a good companion, a good entertainer in our family, and we're delighted to have her.
And I imagine she keeps you warm in the winter.
She can, yes.
Keeping me warm right now. She's sitting on my feet.
And Martha, who's with you?
This is Chooch. He's our 6-year-old Labrador chocolate lab. We rescued him last June from our local animal rescue league, and he was a stray who was chipped, and when they called the owners, they never came to pick him up. And that was definitely to our advantage because he's a wonderful dog. As you can see, he's very gentle. He's a companion for our 6-year-old black lab, Bessie. Chooch is just the calmest dog, and all he really wants is to be loved. He had no name, and so we call him Chooch because that's my favorite Phillies catcher.
Well, there you go. As you may have gathered, our show today is about dogs, all things dogs, mostly, but especially we think it's most important to talk about rescue dogs, as these two dogs are. And we love them, but we've taken a little expedition. Well, Ellen and... Did you go along?
Martha.
Yes,
Yes,
Ellen and
definitely.
Martha both went to a place called Awesome Dawgs, where they... well, I'll let them explain it in the video. If we could roll tape, please.
Well, hi, good morning. We're here at the World of Dogs, at Awesome Dawgs. We're going to enter an amazing facility. We're going to meet some wonderful people who do wonderful things with dogs and with people who love their dogs and who want to make them happy in society. So come join us. I think you'll really enjoy what you see today.
We're at Awesome Dawgs on the Pricetown Road, and we'd like to introduce the proprietors. This is Steve and Mary Jo.
asked me one day if you could wake up and go to a job that you absolutely love, what would it be? And I said, it would have to be something to do with dogs. And that was kind of the start of it.
We found out early on that our client is really the human being. It's not the dog. If we can make good contact and good communication, do good business practice, and be clear about what we want to have the dog doing, have that communication clear to the people, the dog's going to get it.
And can you break bad habits?
Mm-hmm. Well, is it a bad habit based on your opinion or the dog's opinion? Dogs love to jump. We just don't like when it happens.
Well,
yes,
they have to fit into our...
We try to word it wanted or unwanted behaviors. You know, to the dog, it's all behavior. It's just what comes out of the box. That's how dogs are made. So we need to let them understand that's not comfortable for us. So that's how we like to frame it in conversation.
You go down to the end of the tunnel and call Emma through the tunnel. Hissing noises, whatever it takes. Put your head in that tunnel and call her.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Emma. 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 Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, Emma. Come on, Emma. Come get a treat. Come get a treat. Come on, Emma. 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 Get it. Get it. Come on, Emma. Come on, baby. Come on. That's a good girl. Yes. Yes. Come on. Come on, Emma. Come on. Yes. There you go. Good job. Boy. Good boy. Let's have a puppy treat. Come on. Puppy treat. Oh, good boy.
Cookie, 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 cookie.
Boy,
what a good Milky. All right.
Good. Now we're back. Charlie's the king of the mountain.
Hi, I'm here with you, and I remember that I love you. Speak down, sir.
There you go. Now.
Melchior is a miniature Australian Labradoodle. He's not a lab and a poodle. Both of his parents are miniature Australian Labradoodles.
Oh,
It's actually a new breed.
And where did he come from?
He came from a breeder in Missouri, and he came by way of Pet X.
Which is the planes that fly.
No, he didn't come. I didn't want him on the plane. I wanted him to come by ground, and so there is a company called Pet X.
Right.
And they start in Florida and go all the way up to Maine and so on and so on.
Oh, how wonderful. And how old is Melky?
Melky is 16 months.
Melky, so he's pretty full size.
Oh, yes, he's 27 pounds, and he's
just
so bright.
beautiful. Is he not beautiful?
We're here with, what's your name?
Stacy.
Stacy, and you just had a session. It was your first session, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what'd you think?
I thought it was great. It was a great opportunity to take Addie through the jump and through
There's
the
Addie.
Yes, she is. Addie likes to have fun and learn new things. She's a working dog, so she needs to have things to do.
Yeah, like specific things that you want to work on, or things that you're looking forward to learning with Addie, or?
Yeah, just increasing the level of difficulty in some of the things that she's already doing.
Okay. How old is she?
About 4.
Oh, okay. So she's not a little puppy. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting. We were talking about that. Just the fact that people tend to think of it as puppies coming in, but it can be any age.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've done
other training.
But
yeah.
This is okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Addie. All right.
Thanks.
So our visit with the Awesome Dogs and those awesome people that work with Awesome Dogs is over for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come to visit us and the facility at Awesome Dogs. Bye. Okay. I think now that you have seen the amazing Awesome Dogs facility and what happens there, that you really should meet Mary Jo Carabello and Steve Smith, who are the people who have made this business really work and who are really doing a wonderful service to all of us dog owners in the area. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Mary Jo. Mary Jo, tell us a little bit how this all happened, that you became the Awesome Dawgs person, because Mary Jo actually was my acting teacher a long time ago, and that's why we've become friends. So talk to us a little bit, Mary Jo.
Sure. Well, I've always loved dogs, and it was time for me to pursue another career. So I decided, upon great encouragement from my husband, Steve, to do something with dogs, and just kind of fell into the training by choice and by education. And we found that we provide a great service for people and their dogs, because dogs that are not trained, that are not used to people, that don't behave well in a crowded or in a social environment, are often surrendered, and lucky them. They
we don't know why either of them were surrendered.
Right, and you probably never will know. We don't know the reasons many times. But to get them to be a part of our family and to understand the rules in our household is really, really important. And they don't understand our language, so we have to find ways to communicate to them that they understand. We train completely through positive, reward-based methods. Food is something that dogs really do understand. It's, very high-value currency that you don't have to teach them anything about. And so we use those Hey, there you go. So we use rewards. We use food to lure them into the various obedience positions that we require them to do, and then we reward them with food treats. And that's what we're going to be doing this evening.
A quick question from across the room.
Yes.
Who is harder to train, the dogs or the owners?
The owners, by far. Our little tagline here is teaching people, reaching dogs. And it really is about teaching the people how to work with their dogs, because it's not a given. People don't understand. And training dogs has sort of a shady past in terms of the methods that have been used to train dogs. And we know with surrenders and with strays, they're often very sensitive, and to use harsh methods with them could just wreck them forever. So we believe in working with them in a very gentle and fair way, and in a way that they understand. So to communicate that to people, especially if they've had dogs in the past and have used harsher methods on them, sometimes really, really takes some effort.
Why don't you show us what you can do?
Oh, I would love to. Would you like to hold that?
I will. And this is Chooch.
Hey, Chooch. One of the first things we do is to teach dogs to focus on us, because if they're focused on us, they can't be focused on anything else. So we're just going to do a little focus game with you. I'm going to take my food treat. These are all natural, 100% dehydrated meat treats. Chooch, look. Yes. Very good. So I'm just taking the food treat from his nose to my face, and he looks right up at me. Chooch, look. Yes, what a good puppy he is. And as I work with him, I'm going to increase the amount of time that he will fix his gaze on me. Chooch, look. Yes, good boy. And over time, he's going to learn to do this no matter what's going on, and no matter whether he's sitting, lying down, walking, so that when I walk him and he maybe sees a squirrel that he thinks he might like to chase, and he would always, I can say, Chooch, 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 look. And now we've just walked past Mr. Squirrel, and he hasn't pulled me on my face, and it's all good. So that's one of the very first things we train.
Great. Steve, would you like to do some work with Mona?
Sure. When we set out to design a training program for most families to receive a rehome dog, we figured out there's about 7 or 8 basic things that we'd like to be able to teach a dog to offer them management skills in case we have a situation around the home that we need to manage. Something like leave it or drop it, to keep things out of their mouths that shouldn't belong in it. One of the most important things is to be able to have your dog sit when you ask it to sit. And with a lure and reward method, I'm going to just ask Mona if she would please stand up. Yeah. See if we could get her to follow right around here.
And come look over this way. And if I just raise this over her head, good girl. Now, she already knows how to sit. But for a dog that doesn't know how to sit, to follow that back over her head is far more enjoyable than having someone push down on their back or work with the leash and the collar to get them to get into a position, because they'll do just about anything we'd like them to do if we can lure them around and do a circle. And I would say, Mona, sit. Good girl. Good girl. Sitting is important because they're much less likely to run if they're in a sitting position, to dash out a door. Another very valuable task would be to patiently wait in the wings. Thank you, Chooch. I'm going to lure. Thank you for counting to 3. I'm going to lure her down to the floor so she's in a down position. Good girl. Now, Mona is new to me. I never saw Mona tonight until tonight. And I didn't even have to say the word down because our language is so unimportant to them. Mona, sit. Good girl. And now we're just going to ask her to lay down. And without saying sit, I'll do the same thing. And she did it. Very nice. So they read our body language far more than they read our voices. It's very unfortunate. We think we can communicate with language with these guys, but it really doesn't have much effect on them. So we found, if you would just drop the leash for a second, if I'd have Mona follow me right out here into the spotlight, and I'd ask her to sit. And if I want Mona sitting here looking at the camera, we'd ask Mona to come back this way, regardless of what I would say, and ask her to sit. Good girl. So Mona and I have never practiced it before. Nice one, Chooch.
Aww.
Yes.
I think I could do that.
So when we come in contact with dogs that have never been into the homes that they're new to, we want to make sure that they understand their name. As a shelter dog into a new home, they might change name, or the name might actually have a very bad connotation. Somebody might have always called the dog, and then the dog might have gotten some form of not so kind treatment. So we want to make sure it's a friendly name. They get good rewards for listening to their name. Right, Mona? Yes, that's a good girl.
Aww.
Good girl. We want to make sure they know their name, have a few basic commands under wrap. We want to make sure that they don't pull the owners as we're walking them, because oftentimes a dog that pulls a lot ends up not being able to get for a walk, and thus ends up being so unsocial and end up right back where it started. So the methods that we teach are all about getting these guys to learn to be good homeowners or home occupants and stay in the home. Yep, be their forever home.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We've all learned a lot and gotten treats to boot, what could be better? So Mona and I know Chooch love this, so thank you very much, Mary Jo and Steve, for being with us this evening. Thank you so much. Now back to Jane.
Thank you, Martha, Mary Jo, Steve, and Ellen, and thank you especially Mona and Chooch. They're now going back to their happy homes because they've had very long days running through the fields and such. Not Mona and Chooch, Mary Jo and Steve. So, anyway, this is interesting because this ties into dogs. And I need to tell you, I'm sorry, I was wrong. You cannot call in tonight, even if you were watching from the web, so don't call in. But you can still tweet to us at She Tweets to Me. Come on in while I tell this story. I was in my backyard the other day, trimming some dead branches off my garden and things, and I leaned too far over the wall and fell into my neighbor's yard. This is all leading to summer exercise, because I looked up and there was Brutus staring at me. Now Brutus is their dog. He leapt from his perch and started chasing me around the yard. I was in my gardening heels. So we ran around and around and around and around the yard. And I thought, well, I like this. I could do this. And so we can all stand to use a little weight. So I'm going to fall into the yard every day for a while and see if Brutus will chase me. That little chihuahua was just nipping at my heels. Now, so any exercise plans for this summer?
Fitness. There I go again. They have a great 30-minute circuit. It's wonderful. It's cardio and resistance. And yes, I am going to do that. Really, I am. Really, I am. Because walking our dogs is really, the doctors told both of us, that's really not exercise. It's really not. Unless you're really walking at a very brisk pace, it's really
Doctors
doesn't
like
count
to
as
say that.
exercise, but it's better than nothing.
Exactly.
Right,
And
right.
it's better than nothing.
And at least you're out in the fresh air, you're
Right.
getting the vitamin D from the sun, and
When it's been out.
yes, yes, yes. The last 2 days have been
Right.
bonuses. So I'm a gardener, and I must say, from April till October, that's my activity.
That is exercise in itself.
Yeah, pushing that wheelbarrow, lugging those bags of...
You don't have any fences you can fall over into.
No Brutus chasing you.
No, it would probably be squirrels.
I am lucky enough to be able to teach color guard from November through May. So that's where I get most of my exercise, because other than that, I'm pretty lazy.
That's fun.
But, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, that's a workout, quite a workout. We leave sweaty. It's pretty disgusting, but pretty
It's a picture
fun.
I didn't need, but...
Sorry.
Well, I'm not that lucky, but I did recently acquire a free elliptical. But
That is lucky.
hate working out. I hate it. Hate it. It's mind-numbing to me. And I know some people are like, no, I love it. You know, my mind goes flying. And no, never. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, it's been 3 minutes. No, this is too much.
Yeah,
so
you need a little dog
what's
to
nice is I've gotten Dallas, my boyfriend, to rig up a TV upstairs. Now, it only plays VHSs and it's not attached to cable. So I've just brought out all my old VHSs, like some stuff taped off of the air when I was a kid, you know, some like cartoons, some like taped theater shows from when I was a young kid. So I just play those in like half-hour intervals, and that distracts me while I'm ellipticaling. So I just started doing that more regularly. So that's mine.
You can always find that motivation and to make you do something really hideous that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Can you explain what ellipticaling is?
Oh yeah, it's sort of like bicycling, but you're standing up. So it's the form of it is sort of a swing, but it goes up in the back like this. So you're standing. You're doing this. It's great. I mean, it's really attractive. People are watching you do it. And then there's two poles that are kind of like ski poles. So you go like this, but it's all at the same time. So it's really boring, and I hate it. So I watch movies.
Mine is a clothes hanger.
Yeah.
I hang things on it. It's terrible. I need to break it out. Maybe I'll just come watch some VHS videos with you and do it.
I'm glad I'm sitting with other women who hate exercise.
Well, does anyone like exercise?
The 30 minutes at Planet Fitness, that 30 minutes is about it.
Like the worst 30 minutes of your day, right?
Well, but at least it's over. You know,
the dread, though.
But it's only 30 minutes.
And once we get these fabulous bodies,
absolutely.
Where are we going on our dream vacation?
No, but I'll be crocheting some bikinis for everyone.
Oh.
Got that?
I think I'm past
They
my
fall off
bikini
as they get wet, right?
Everybody gets a bikini for Christmas this year.
Well,
How
I know
much
where
yarn do you
I'm
have in
going. Absolutely, without a doubt, New Zealand. I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Big. And once I found out that most of the scenery in those movies was real and there and exists, I'm like, it's got to happen. They speak English. That's really great. You know, and I would love it. It's gorgeous and beautiful there, and I would love to go there more than anywhere.
That
is my
amazing.
dream. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I would go to the hills in northern Italy. I have an ongoing love affair with Italy. It's all I want. Of course, for me, any vacation when I don't have to cook is any vacation without room service is not a vacation. So, but my dream vacation would be going back to rent a villa in the hills in Tuscany or in the Piedmont and just enjoying.
And you know the food will be good.
I do know the food will be good.
Yes, it would. Yes. I think what I would like to do that I kind of doubt I ever will, so this isn't going to happen anytime soon, but I think I would like to take a cruise around South America, around the entire continent, and just kind of witness all the different cultures, all the different land, all the different latitudes, and I just think it would
and go through the stormy straits.
Yes, yes.
Where it's supposed to be amazing.
Yes,
Tierra
del Fuego and all that. Yes, yes.
I'm up. I don't know. See, vacation is not
You
the
don't
thing.
like vacations either. You don't like holidays.
it.
You don't like
You know.
It's like the anti-Sheila.
I hate everything.
Next
I'm the
show we'll
grumpy
do
cat.
everything Sheila loves.
Yeah, right? No, I just, honestly, maybe it's because I'm so busy these days. Maybe it's because my parents dragged me all over when I was younger. But travel, it just doesn't cross my mind. Like, I never thought about where I'd like to go because it's not a reality. Like, I'm just not going on vacation anytime soon. So I just don't think about it. But that's something to consider someday.
I think you're happy where you are.
I
suspect
love
you're a person that is just planting.
You're right.
And happy where
you know,
are.
on my downtime, everyone's like, "Where should we go? Should we go here? Should we go?" And I'm like, I just want to stay home. Like, I really just like it there. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm happy. You're right. I am happy here. So I'll stay.
Well, I have an old-fashioned dream. There's a train that goes all the way across Canada, and you stop in these wonderful little inns and hotels and things. And I think that would be absolutely amazing if I had all that time and money. That's stupidly expensive, but that's why it's a dream vacation, folks.
Right.
But yes, that would be amazing. And you just relax and look at the scenery.
And what season of the year would you choose?
Well, I think
when the track wouldn't be
exactly.
snowed over,
Yeah.
right?
Any time when I'm not going to get trapped there and be dinner. I think autumn would be nice. Spring, well, I think autumn would be nice. I don't know.
That seems to be the popular time to
I would think so.
The training and sort of thing.
I am a sheep, after all. All right.
A lamb.
Thank you, darling. Well, I have a special quick announcement to make. We have to wish a happy birthday to our producer Jamie, who turned 50 yesterday.
Woo! Happy birthday, Jamie!
As three of us on this panel are well past that age, it's nothing. Well, not we're past that age. We're past that age. Happy birthday. We'd sing it to you, but then we'd have to pay royalties.
50 is the old 30. So
there you go.
You're just hitting adulthood.
And two other quick announcements. We'll have more announcements at the end, but two other quick before we go to break. Julian Cephas, who was on our show the other week, the young lady who played the guitar and sang. There's a benefit. She's to become an ambassador on a Europe trip. I don't forget what the name of the program is. But they send youth to foreign countries, and they meet and greet and represent the United States. And I think she would be an excellent representative of the United States. And there's a benefit for her at the Olivet Boys and Girls Clubs, the Center for the Arts. That's at 328 Walnut Street at 6 p.m. next Saturday. No, tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. This Saturday. What day is this? The drugs are kicking in. Yes, this Saturday, the 23rd at 6 p.m., Olivet Boys and Girls Club, Center for the Arts. It's going to be quite a lovely thing. And also, for BCTV, there's a benefit on March 26th at 5:30. And Mr. James, Ellen's husband, Chuck, and I will be waiting tables. I don't know what that involves yet, but
wait till you see.
I will wear my highest heels to wear something that doesn't stain.
And we will have a table also reserved for That's What She Said cast.
Indeed.
And partners, and we will be there to meet and greet. If anyone would like to meet and greet us in person, we autograph for free of charge.
So come on and meet us all and have a lovely time and help support BCTV. And now I think this is a good time to take a break.
You're watching BCTV.org. Be informed. Be involved. Be a member. For membership information, go to www.bctv.org/support/membership. For other stories and information, go to bctv.org.
We're back. That was quick. Keeping on our dog themes, I'm told that the BCTV benefit at the Peanut Bar may be sold out. That is what we've been told. So you can try. Certainly, we'd be happy to have you try to buy tickets. Certainly, we'd be happy to have you send money in and just support the organization without getting fed by me.
We'll be autographing in the parking lot.
Indeed. The ladies will be hanging out in the parking lot, and that'll be fabulous. Now, continuing with the dog themes, Ellen has a place that she goes to that has a pet store. I forget what.
It's not really a pet store.
Okay.
It's a natural foods store, and they do cater to animals as well.
All right.
And it's called Second Nature, and it's in Kutztown. And
that's a wonderful thing.
They've all kinds of wonderful things for people and our pets. And the other day we went in and had a little visit, and I think we have a tape from that to show now.
Let's see that visit.
We are at Second Nature Natural Foods Store in Kutztown, on Main Street in Kutztown. And this is Elaine Gallagher, who is the owner.
Yes.
And we're here not just to find out that they have all kinds of wonderful organic foods and all kinds of herbs, that sort of thing, but since our theme for this show is our pets, they also have pet products. So, Elaine, I'm going to ask you to tell us some things about generally what you have in the store.
All kinds of foods and snacks and all the health products that you would need as far as like fleas, tick, vitamins, and all kinds of the nutrients that our animals need just as much as we do.
You certainly hit a nerve with me when you said fleas. Today, on this snowy day in March, I was petting my dog and I picked a tick off her. So, I need a solution.
Well, they will be more prevalent in animals that are less healthy. So it's really important to keep their health up. It can also be a sign of feed deficiencies. Okay. So, diet, exercise, and the food that you're giving them is very crucial. It's good to clean with this delinolator that is a chemical that actually comes from citrus. And as you see, there are many, many products that can be used that has this citrus base. For food deficiency is a lot of times the case. So we'll often give them yeast, which is high in B vitamins, as well as garlic. The odor, tends to come out from the skin. And herbal flea collars. There's cats and dogs that are not toxic and as damaging as all this commercial sprays tend to be on the liver and the kidneys.
Now, if somebody who's watching the show has another issue with their pet, and maybe it is a skin issue, or maybe it's itchy ears or something, they would come here and talk to you, or you have other staff members that would be able to help them?
I am a clinical herbalist. I've been doing this for a long time. I guess I started in the 70s. But yes, our staff are also well educated, and we're here and ready and able to help. Your address here? 329 West Main Street, and that's in Kutztown.
Well, I appreciate this, and I know I'm going to be trying something here for Mona.
There you go.
And hopefully we'll get this problem nipped before it becomes a real problem. Really, there are so many things in this building that would help everybody for a lot of different conditions. We're just focusing on pet problems right now, but hopefully you'll want to come back and visit with Elaine and her staff at Second Nature on Main Street in Kutztown.
And here we are. Now, we've had a special guest join us. We have with us Dylan Heckart from the Humane Society, and he's brought Lady along, a dog that's available for rescue. And she seems to be a very sweet, timid little thing, but I'm going to pet her, but I'll have to take my mic off. So Dylan, tell us a little bit about the rescue of dogs and Lady.
Absolutely. Lady's available for adoption at the Humane Society of Berks County. She's about 7 years old. She has some special needs. As you can see, she's a little bit big, a little bigger than perhaps would be healthy for her. So we have her on a weight control diet right now. One of the things that you want to be aware of when you adopt or purchase a dog is that not only do you incur the regular expenses, but you can see medical conditions, basic things like obesity that we're dealing with Lady, but some very complicated things as well. One thing that you want to be aware of when you're adopting a dog from a shelter like ours is that dogs come to us with all sorts of histories. Sometimes they are simply given up by families who can't keep them anymore. Sometimes they're victims of cruelty or neglect. And sometimes they come to us as strays. They've been out wandering the streets, and so they all have sort of their own individual background. This shapes their behavior, and it shapes their lives moving forward. And you can see with Lady here that she's a little shy, almost timid, but is still looking around, making eye contact. But you will see in other dogs, especially in a shelter environment where maybe they've been displaced from a quieter or calmer home into a kennel environment, some dogs may not react well to that. So one thing to be aware of when you're dealing with behavioral issues and health issues, especially with shelter dogs, you've got to be ready financially and sometimes emotionally for the things that you'll have to adapt to moving forward.
Giving her puppy dog eyes to the camera.
And if one wanted to adopt Lady, how would one?
Lady is currently in the adoption kennel at the Humane Society of Berks County's Lindy Scholar Center. That's 1801 North 11th Street in Reading. Phone number is 610-921-2348. And you can see Lady, the rest of the adoptable dogs, cats, and critters on our website right now at berkshumane.org.
That's wonderful. So, please, someone, could you not give this little pup a home?
We're all sitting here.
Which one of us can take her? We're all like over here crying. Look at her big, beautiful eyes.
But you bring up an interesting point. Oh, I would like to make a shout out. If our California viewers are viewing, could you send us a Twitter, or anyone send us a Twitter at she tweets to me, just so I know my phone's working. But you bring up an interesting point about the whole expense thing, and Ellen was discussing that with us earlier. Can you?
Well, yes. When you take on a pet, it's a real commitment. It's a responsibility, and you have to be prepared for not just behavioral issues, but the expenses that go along with feeding and caring for a pet. And there's our expenses over this past, well, we adopted her in July, and this is from July to January. As you can see, the food you would expect to feed the dog, and then there was the grooming that you do for a dog, and then the vet bills. And Mona's a healthy dog, but she had fleas, she had hematomas on her ears, and then she went into heat at the age of 8.5. And we had to have her spayed.
Gotta watch out for her.
And so it really adds up, and we don't regret a minute of having her. It's just that we want everybody to be aware that you have made a commitment, and it may be a financial commitment as well as a time
it will be a
and
financial
caring
commitment as well.
commitment.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So dogs are wonderful, wonderful companions. Everyone should have one.
Yeah.
But
I had 2 dogs at one point, so.
Everyone should have a pet. There.
I do.
Let's yes.
I
let's
have
open
one.
Up to pets.
We also had expenses with Chooch when we rescued him from Animal Rescue League. A 6-year-old chocolate lab is in very good health. However, he had not been neutered for whatever reason, and we expected to have that done. Then we discovered he had some sort of digestive problem that was a definite problem for a couple of weeks until the vet found a food that we can feed him, but we paid for all sorts of tests, and the tests ran into quite a bit of money. The food is quite expensive. We would not trade him for anything. He is the world's best chocolate Labrador ever. But it is an expense, and if you're going to adopt a dog, if you're going to adopt Lady, then you need to know that you are committed. You can't say, oh, well, I can't afford her, and now I have to give her back. That's
Which is why there's so
terrible.
many animals in
Yes.
shelters
Right.
and strays,
Exactly.
and why so many are abandoned all the time. I mean, stories that you hear, like, oh, Chooch came to the Animal Rescue League as a stray.
Somebody
so
put
did
him
my
out.
cat, like someone just drops him off, microchipped, so was my cat, and they disavow knowledge,
Yes.
and that's, I think a lot of it is people taking on animals without really understanding the commitment, really understanding every ounce of the commitment, financial, emotional, time. You have to have time.
Yes.
That's a big thing for dogs, even more than cats.
Yes.
But like you absolutely have to have time. Your life has to, in some sense, revolve around these new.
Right on the head. We actually discovered. We audited a couple of years of our intake records and discovered that the primary reason that animals, particularly dogs, are entering our shelter is that their owners either don't have access to, for whatever reason, veterinary care or behavioral modification, or that they simply can't afford it, or they're not aware of it. And so a lot of these animals that come to us, these 7-month-old puppies, when the honeymoon period's over and he's eaten everything in your house, and really he would benefit from some really basic and relatively inexpensive training, may come to a shelter instead because their owners are not aware of the existence of basic training, or they're not able to access it, or they're not able to afford it. And that's really the driving force behind the veterinary hospitals of the Humane Society that we started a couple of years ago. Not necessarily to provide less expensive care or boutique care in some way, but to provide access to veterinary care for people who may not have been able to access it before. And it pays dividends to us as well, because while we'll always see animals in the shelter, any animals that we can stop at the door and send them back home with their families where they belong, we're happy to do so.
Approximately, I don't know if you keep account, but at any time, how many animals do you have for adoption? I'm sure it's frightening.
For adoption, quite a few. Generally, we'll have between 10 and 15 dogs available for adoption at any given time, and a significant number of cats. We rotate our adoptable cats through a small number of adoption habitats. We find that we used to have a cat room that was just wall-to-wall cages, 3 banks up above your head, and we discovered that it was almost a paralysis of choice. It's like walking into a department store or Target or Walmart and forgetting the thing you came for because you've been so stunned by the quantity of bright things around you. Folks would walk in and many times just walk right out without adopting a cat because there were so many that they felt overwhelmed. So when you walk into the Humane Society now, you may only see 8 or 10 cats.
And you have that nice open cat room.
I love it.
It's really nice.
As someone with a mild allergy to cats, I really appreciate the fact that they are, they're behind glass. They've got a completely separate ventilation system, which is a lot healthier for them, to be honest. You can walk in there and sort of enjoy the cats without sort of being assailed by these, hundreds of cats that need homes. So we'll move them every couple of days or a week. We'll switch them out, and we also have adoptable cats at our facility in Douglasville, and we'll rotate them down there as well.
Anyone else?
You definitely provide other services. Do you still have I heard one time that you had a service for people who were ill and their pets needed food that you took.
Yes, that's our Animeals on Wheels program for people who are disabled, for seniors, and honestly for anyone who's facing financial hardship.
Really wonderful.
It's all thanks to the community. People donate dry and canned food to us. We're able to redistribute that to the community. That and PetNet, the program that we've set up in conjunction with Berks Women in Crisis for animal victims of domestic violence or personal catastrophe. Those are my two personal favorites.
Yeah, they are wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know that you provide services that most of the community isn't aware of, and I know the one for a senior, an elderly person who is no longer able to function with her dog or to provide food. Right. Instead of having to give up a much-loved pet, which actually we are healthier if we have pets. Our blood pressure lowers just by touching a dog and petting a dog. In order to keep that pet in the home, you provide food for them. That's an incredible service that people need to know about and also need to donate food for.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. And any of the programs that we've discussed, if you go online at berkshumane.org, you can read all about them.
And what was the phone number again?
610-921-2348. That'll connect you to the Lindy Scholar Center on 11th Street in Reading.
Lady. And will you please let us know how Lady,
I
how her life progresses from this point?
Oh, absolutely.
We'll all be wanting to know.
Yeah, she's a charmer. Anyone would want this dog in their home.
How long has she been there?
I don't know right off the top of my head. I don't think that she's been with us very long.
You said you have.
Absolutely.
What pet do you have?
I have a cat.
You do?
I do.
My goodness.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. He just kind of he belonged to a friend of mine and was given away for being too friendly. If you can believe that. He was too friendly. And he is, in fact, too friendly. Like, if you sit down, he will climb up your chest and sit right here.
Right in your face. In your face, yes.
He's a chest sitter. He's in your face, and it doesn't matter who you are.
Jamie has been looking for a cat to do that all his life.
I have, Jamie. My cat will gladly sit on you.
Not a single one of them does that.
All his cats are what he calls proximity cats that just like to be around you but not necessarily on you. And
yeah, you have no idea how lucky you are.
Mine, yeah, when I'm sleeping, I'm real lucky with this 12 pounds of fluff sitting on my head. We have a love-hate relationship. I love him. I don't regret a minute of him. I mean, and it's funny because he was given away, and I, for whatever reason, felt compelled to save him. Me, not being an animal person, don't know what possessed me. I was just like, oh my gosh, we have to save him. And so I did. I went in the next day, and like you said, the cat room, 3 crate. It was awful. It was, I walked in for one specific cat, knowing which cat I was getting, and I was still looking around at all these cats. It's like, I would love to keep them all, but no, I'm allergic, and I'm afraid. So.
Yeah, that's the hard part when going to some place that does have adoptions. It's like
it was devastating. Like me, not even being an animal person, I wanted to keep them all, but
don't let that keep you from going.
Right. No, and you know what I'm thinking too. That brings up a point. You have volunteer services at the.
We certainly do. In fact, volunteers are the backbone of everything we do.
Because I was thinking, like if you aren't in a place where you can financially have a pet or a dog, especially, you can volunteer and help.
Vicariously.
Yeah, exactly. And, no commitment, but you're helping out. And
I'm sure there's never any lack of need for volunteers.
Absolutely not. You can walk a dog 3 times a day if you'd like. It's really not they don't mind at all. And our volunteers, whether they're hands-on with the animals or whether they're helping our human clients, find a pet or deal with difficult situations, surrendering a pet, are just some of the greatest people on earth.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're wonderful for
bringing Lady along.
Lady, you're a good girl.
We do definitely want to know. We want to tell you a few things before we leave. Our next show, which hopefully will be live, is hockey season over by then? Is on May 15th, 9 o'clock, same bat channel, same bat time. And we'd also like to tell you we're having an event at Kira's Bookshop, the Wise Owl Bookstore, on Friday, April 12th. We're going to read the entire book of The Great Gatsby in conjunction with the Berks Jazz Fest.
The Jazz Fest and Jazz on the Avenue specifically, which is in its 2nd year now on the Avenue. They're actually closing off the 600 block, and the Dirk Quinn Band's playing at Fred Astaire Dance Studio, and a bunch of the shops are doing specials and events and music and food, and we're doing a marathon read-through of The Great Gatsby, which is a Jazz Age probably the most famous jazz age novel by Fitzgerald.
And we're lining up some amazing readers.
Some great people from the area, performers and artists.
Yes, I believe Anna. What's her last name? From Iraq.
Oh, Anna Weiss.
That's right. Chuck left.
Dr. Anna Weiss.
Falling to an empty chair. Dr. Anna Weiss will actually, I believe, be kicking off the reading at 3:30. We're starting at 3:30, and go until we get the darn thing done. Hopefully by 10 we'll have it wrapped up, and Gatsby will be dead. Anyone else with a
This will be before the movie comes out, right?
I
the movie's
believe
coming
so.
out in May.
Yes, it is before the movie, so a good
You have a birthday shout
I
out?
do. I got to give a shout out to my sidekick, my right-hand man, Jonathan F. Browning.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Happy birthday, meathead. I love you. Yes, without him, there would be a lot less laughs, a lot less love, and a lot less embarrassment in my life. So I need to give him a shout out.
Happy birthday, John.
And I'd like to talk a little bit about an event that's coming up on the weekend of the 20th and 21st of April. I suppose most of our viewers know that this is the 100th anniversary of the Reading Symphony Orchestra, and as one of their big events, they're having Midori come to town. Now, Midori is a wonderful violinist. At the age of 11, she had her first concert. She performed with the with the New York Philharmonic and Zubin Mehta as an 11-year-old on New Year's Eve, and has gone on for 30 years entertaining audiences. But she is so committed to working with young people that what she does when she goes to a city to make a performance, she goes for a week and she works with the children in schools. She has something called a performance partnership, and on the Sunday of that weekend, the 21st, she will be performing with the Reading Youth Symphony and the Reading Junior Orchestra. And from now until the time she's coming to Reading, she's going to be doing the same thing in Leipzig, Milan, Berlin, San Francisco, and Little Rock. So that's
and
her
Reading.
life. And then Reading. Yay!
I love it.
So, just a wonderful personality, a wonderful performer, and hopefully people will want to know more about her.
That's wonderful. Anything you want to?
I'm just going to finish the semester with a bang.
Go, all right. And Kira, anything other than the Gatsby thing coming up at the
The
store?
only other thing I can think of is that World Book Night is coming up in April, which will be before our next meeting. It's a nationwide and international initiative, basically, to get books into the hands of light or non-readers. So what they do is they hand out, they get book givers, which have already been applied for and they've already been chosen for this year, and then they pick up their books from bookstores and libraries across the nation, and then they hand them out on April 23rd, which is World Book Night, which is Shakespeare's birthday. And they, to people at the subway, in coffee shops, any place where people normally wouldn't be readers, not in a library or something like that. And it's good, good books that, are either classics or books that are just really popular and people really love to read, and the kind of books that will get people who don't read interested in reading. So that's coming up, and we're a book pickup location, and we're also having a reception for our book givers. But yeah, that's a great thing to just be aware of that's coming up in April 23rd. The whole day is World Book Night.
Okay. Quickly, anything coming, any benefits or anything coming up to help?
Are you kidding me? May 4th, May 4th is Art for Our Sake. It is a fantastic night at the Sovereign Performing Arts Center. A huge art auction, just a great costume night, entertainment, all to benefit the animals of the Humane
And that's
Society.
on the website as well?
That is on the website, berkshumane.org. The theme this year is Golden Age Sci-Fi. And I know we've got to go, so I'll leave it to the website.
So Golden Age Sci-Fi, that sounds great.
Well, again, thank you for joining us. Heckart from the Humane Society. We want to thank Mary Jo Carabello and Steve Smith from Awesome Dawgs, and, of course, all the ladies. We want to remind you that on... May 15th, we will hopefully be coming to you live in our usual thing, and rather than just over the web. I also think I would like to urge everyone to remember that animals are our friends. We need to treat animals as well as we treat each other, and we could treat each other better, too. So, thank you for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful 2 months till we're back. Or a month and 2 months, yes. Thank you to all the ladies and
all our puppies.
All our puppies and our pets, and it's been a joy being with you.
Good
Have a
night.
good night.
Bye.
This program is brought to you through the kind support of the Friends of That's What She Said and Taylor Backus Glass. Support BCTV by visiting bctv.org/support.
It used to be great, now it's not so great. But it's still pretty great. Reading. It used to have lights, but it didn't have lights. New, with LED lights. Pagoda. Did they really say that? We did not say that. Yeah, they did say that. That's what she said.